Happy Friday. It's 4th of July weekend, sort of. I mean, 4th of July is on Tuesday. But you know, everybody's going to be celebrating it this weekend. So get out your barbecue and your fireworks and let's have a party. But be safe. And remember your pets. Speaking of pets, we're looking at pictures of baby animals. And why are we looking at pictures of baby animals? Because there can only be one reason why we're looking at baby animals, and that's because it's ORC time. So once again, I will dive into the deep end of the ORC pool so you don't have to, and read through and try and make sense of the final. It's the final version. Final version of the open role-playing game contract before Paizo and its attorneys send it to the U.S. Office of Copyright to receive that beloved stamp. Ka-tang! See, when I got my copyright, it was $45. I'm sure it costs more now. But damn, and then it will be on file ad infinitum in the U.S. Library of Congress, which means it cannot change as long as the attorneys continue to refile the copyright. Or Paizo decides to change the ORC, even though they claim they won't. And they can't. But, you know, Wizards of the Coast did the exact same thing, and well, we know what happened there. No, we're not going to change. Oh, whoops, we changed it. Yeah. So, as much as we wanted this to be amazing, is it amazing? Do we even care anymore at this point? Let's dive into it. So you don't have to. I will try to decipher it and use simple words when I can, while you get to look at pictures of baby animals. So first, baby animal time. Oh, pupples. Oh, koala bear. Oh, baby ducks. And baby harp seal. And meerkats. And kittens. All right, ready? This is the final, where they will attempt to explain everything. Here's the license in plain English. The ORC license provides a way for game creators to openly share the mechanics of their games and allows for downstream users, there's that word again, to freely use, modify, or reshare adaptations of these game mechanics. Ba-da-dum. What is openly shared under the ORC is known as licensed material, and that includes the broad functional elements of a game, such as stat blocks, game rules, character attributes, and the methods and systems inherent in playing the game, as well as anything else the licensor explicitly wants to share. The license is broad and lets you use licensed material globally in connection with printed books, video games, podcasts, AI. Ooh, it protects AI now, maybe, sort of. And any other technology that may exist or be created in the future, like virtual reality. What does that mean in English? The ORC protects core rules. Strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, armor class, that shit. That's yours. If you create a brand new rule system that is not based upon a pre-existing rule system, the ORC protects that. That is chunk. That chunk is solid. Doesn't mean things can't downstream from it, here's that word again, to make stuff based upon that. What is not shelled under the ORC? Oh, sorry. First, baby animal update. Oh, baby cougar, baby deer. Oh, baby harp seal, puppy and kitten. Oh, double heartbreak, baby kitten. All right. What is not shelled under the RC is known as reserve material. This includes trademarks, world lore, story arcs, distinctive characters, and visual arts. If the creator wants to share their reserve material under the OC, they can do that, but they need to make express declaration in their ORC notice. Otherwise, it remains exclusive property. Real life example that we all know and love, Drizzt. Drizzt is 100% Wizards of the Coast. You cannot use Drizzt in any way, shape, or form. That is reserved material, unless Wizards of the Coast expressly gives you permission to use our favorite twin scimitar-wielding Drow Elf. On the other hand, Drow Elf or Dark Elf, that is not reserved. Anybody can use Dark Elves and Drow Elves, despite Paizo saying you can't. So if you want to have Dark Elves, Drow Elves, Shadow Elves, whatever you want to call them in your world, you can. They are open. Nobody can stop you from having them. Under the ORC, you can use, share, adapt, or build on the licensed material however you see fit. so long as you give proper attribution in the form of notice in your published work. This notice both credits the upstream licensor, there's that word, and the continuation of the work, as well as provide an easy way for downstream users to credit the author of the work in which the notice appears. Kitten break. Oh, baby polar bear. Kitten and bunny, and they're in the same color. Oh, kitten. Pop bowls. Kitten. All right, so what does that mean? Okay. Core rule set. Let's use WRETCHED because I wrote a WRETCHED product. So I can make stuff for WRETCHED. I can't make WRETCHED, but I continue to make stuff under the WRETCHED license for, say, WRETCHED Vigilantes or WRETCHED Goblins or WRETCHED Space. So that's what it means. But the WRETCHED stuff is reserved to them, but as long as I give credit to Miguel and Sylvia, could use the WRETCHED engine and set things in the WRETCHED world. By using the material licensed under the ORC, you automatically agree to license out your game mechanics in your published work under the same terms. So if I release a game mechanic under the ORC, that means, hey, you can use it. Okay, make money off my shit. Just give me credit. If you develop your own reserve material, that is exclusive to you. So if I introduce a character like the Dyslexic Duo, those are exclusive to me. No one has the power to change or revoke the ORC license. We know that's not true. Once the licensed material is out there, it is out there forever, as long as the copyright lasts. As long as the copyright lasts. How long does the copyright last? Let's find out. How long does a copyright last, Mr. Wizard? 70 years. Really? I thought 70 years? Wow. Then I don't have to worry about my copyright. So from now till 70 years from now, assuming an asteroid doesn't destroy us, the ORC copyright protects your shit. Kitten break. Oh, duckies. Oh, baby. Some jaguars. No, not jaguars. Mountain lions. Maybe. Oh, baby deer. And baby rabbit wearing a sweater. Oh, look at this. Pupples. Babies with a dog. They're so cute. Oh, baby bunnies. Another baby bunny. Baby. I don't know what that is. Porcupine. All right. No one has the... we already read that. This document is not legal advice. How does the ORC license work? The ORC license can be used by anyone to open their game up for others to use. Here's my rule set. The ORC license is a game system agnostic. It's not an SRD. There is no ORC role-playing game. If you put the ORC notice on your work that any of your reserved material that is expressly dedicated to the gaming community, shown in the expressly designated license material, as well as your blah, 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 blah. All right, so they give an example, but I guess they didn't check the example because the example actually refers to something called the Raptor game system. So if you were to copy and paste the ORC official statement now, you're basically saying my game is a subversion of the Raptor game system because for whatever reason, Paizo included this game company. So Paizo, you need to remove that so people can use the ORC license openly. Because if that's going to remain in the ORC and get copyrighted as that and be put into the Library of Congress as that means the Raptor game system is now officially part of the ORC. And anything I make, Raptor Games could say, oh, yeah, that's ours because we're in. Yeah, so that needs to go, dude. That example company needs to go. I don't know what the F you were thinking. Why did you create the ORC? We know why they created the ORC, because January, and they wanted to make sure they could still be making their stuff. Why is the license so complicated? Excuse me, have you seen how the law works in this country / this planet? You know what somebody once said, anybody who loves the law or sausage should never go see how either is made. Who controls the ORC? The Library of Congress. What is there no organization to enforce the ORC? The U.S. Office of Copyright will enforce the ORC. Can the ORC license be updated? Can be revoked or amended? Not in another 70 years, or if we change our mind. Why did our reserve register copyright in the ORC? Because we wanted an independent contractor to be the people who control anything that happens to the ORC going forward for the next 70 years. ad infinitum. So by having a third party that has absolutely no involvement in any aspect of the ORC wars, if tomorrow Paizo somehow magically vanishes from the face of the earth, this attorney will still be able to form, function, maintain, run the ORC, the copyright, and any legalese battles that might come out of it. Remember, you see this in movies all the time and TV shows all the time, how the attorney has outlasted the actual thing. And like, oh, this has been on our shelves for 70 years. And I was told specifically today to bring it to you and read it today. The guy who brings the thing to Marty and Back to the Future is like, this has been sitting on our shelves, So we're assuming that the law firm will outlast everything else. That, that's set in stone. As Zora or its subsidiaries, or if it evolves and becomes something else, as law firms tend to do. But basically, Paizo is assuming that even if we vanish tomorrow, these guys will be around to the end of time because they're attorneys to be able to maintain and take care of this. So that's why we had them do it. Baby animal break. Oh, Band Bear. Oh, I don't know, Pupples. Oh, kitty. No, bigger kitty. Owl. Ooh, baby owl. Baby hyena. Baby raccoons. Another baby kitty. Another baby kitty. Baby monkey. There we go. Moving on. Why not Creative Commons? Because Creative Commons can be changed, even though Wizards of the Coast says they can't. Can I pull my stuff out of the ORC license once I put it in there? Nope. If you use this license, it is protected under the ORC and responsible / under the control of / under the auspices. Ooh, there's a word you don't hear very often. Auspices of the ORC. How long does the ORC license last? 70 years. Can I use the ORC license for a board game? Yep. How are translations treated under the ORC? You are free to translate material in the ORC to any other language you want. We did it because we're Paizo, and at Paizo, we're all about inclusion, diversity, and embracing all the people across the planet who speak the millions of languages that people speak across our planet, as long as it's English. Because inclusion. Does the ORC license use of a system reference document? I mean, no, you could have the ORC and not an SRD. I don't know why you'd want to, but sure, because the ORC and the SRD are completely different things. I primarily produce game content of a mechanical nature, little content that be considered reserved material. With so little to hold back as mine, it feels like publishing strategy gets fewer protections under the ORC than others who have a higher percentage of non-mechanical material, blah, 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 blah. Is there a way I can desiccate more of my mechanical contents as reserved material? Nope. While creating this type of mechanical content may be involved just as much effort as creating reserved material, copyright protection is not based on the sweat of your brow. All users of the ORC license agree to contribute to all the mechanical content to downstream users. So if you make a game system, you're basically saying these stat blocks are open source. As long as you give me credit, you can use it. So I could use Wretched to make a Wretched supplement, and as long as I give Sylvia and Miguel credit, I can use it. But do I have to give them any money? No, they're not. That part's not protected. I can take all the money I want and just say, hey, thanks for letting me use your rule system. And Sylvia and Miguel at the top of the stream are going, well, we put this here. Not that they will, because I know Sylvia and Miguel will not put Wretched under the ORC, but I'm just using them as an example because I work for them, sort of. At the top of the stream, Sylvia and Miguel's like, we did all this hard work and we put this rule system at the top of the stream and it's going downstream, and now other people are making money off of our product, but we're not making any money. But gee, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. Mechanics are mechanics. The whole OSR in all its infinite glory is all based upon how many different variations of D20 can we come up with. I have created an entire book of spells or whatever, and I want to include with the work a spell from another product under the ORC license. Does this require that all the other rule mechanics in my spellbook are automatically available for downstream users to reference and use in their products? Yep. Using the ORC license within a work means licensing the relevant portions of the entire work. So once again, if you throw it out there, anybody else can use it. and they all as long as they give you credit, that's it. They don't have to share money with you or anything. Baby animal break. No. No. Oh, baby hedgehog. Oh, baby harp seal. Baby lemurs. Baby elephant. Baby bunny. I can't tell if that's a panda or a dog or something somebody made up. Bunny. Tigers. Pupple. Monkey. Baby deer. Baby fox. Okay, moving on. I want to submit an article that includes the game mechanics from my ORC licensed game to a magazine or website with several different articles on a variety of games. If using an ORC content in a work means licensing the relevant portions of the entire work, does the inclusion of my article in the magazine or website mean that all the mechanical material by any other contributors who may not even know I contributed is now open under the terms of the ORC? So, okay. So if you submit an article on Shadow Dark to a zine, and somebody else submits an article about Wretched to a zine, and then somebody else puts a product on the zine about Pathfinder, Pathfinder definitely falls under the ORC, but Wretched and Shadow Dark has its own, and Wretched probably has its own. Does that mean now everything that in that article, in that magazine, including the magazine itself, is now part of the ORC, even if they didn't know? It shouldn't, but let's see. The definition of work and derived work anticipate products that are built on our exclusive system and certain types of work. If the product has distinct system relations to a variety of game systems, only portions of the product related to the systems are licensed under the ORC license would be required to license back out as an adapted work under the ORC license. So if I release something for Pathfinder, then yeah, sure, that's protected under the ORC, but it doesn't mean that the other stuff that people did is also somehow automatically, magically protected under the ORC, even if they didn't know about it. At least I think that's what it means. It's very vague. It could mean, nope, I don't know. What does this mean? Now, what it should mean is, sure, your product, if it says ORC, and you put it in the magazine, Dragon Magazine, it's ORC. But if Kelsey puts an article in the magazine for Shadow Dark, it's not. It's not ORC. And if the OGGM puts an article in the same magazine for Wretched Vigilantes, no, it's not ORC. And if there's a comic in there and a recipe and some other stuff, none of those are ORC unless the person who posted it specifically says that it is ORC. I think that's what it means. That's what it should mean. Am I wrong? Please let me know. Because if it doesn't mean that, that would suck. Given that I include game mechanics from multiple game systems within my product, isolating ORC license derived work rules in an appendix so that only a material will be required to be licensed back out. What? Isolating ORC license derived game rules in an appendix so that only the material would be required to be licensed back out. So, okay, so this is saying, what is this saying? Oh, this is if I'm the guy who actually makes the magazine. And in that magazine, I have rules and mechanics from multiple game systems. Do I have to isolate which one specifically is ORC? Yes, I do. Wow, okay. Baby animal break. Baby elephant. Baby red panda. Baby kitten. Baby kitten. Baby pupples. Baby meerkat. Oh, another baby kitty. Okay. Baby animal break over. What is the precise light between licensed material and reserved material within, say, the contents of a spell description? All right, so that one's simple. That one's easy. The mechanics of the spell, range, duration, damage, requirements, that is open. That's ORC. Anybody can use those mechanics. But secondary effects or flavor, those are also licensed material. But if you say it's Tensor's spell of unbinding, no, the tensor word is reserved. So if the spell has a howl from the north or turns green, that's licensed material. But if the spell specifically says Bemble's Bursting Bunion, well, that's reserved, because Bimble is reserved to your specific world. So Drizzt, again, Drizzt, only Wizards of the Coast can use Drizzt. Only Wizards of the Coast use Tensor. Only Wizards of the Coast can write a spell that says Tensor's Floating Sandwich, or an adventure with Drizzt in it. But anybody can use game mechanics that are spells or Drow Elf. And if you want to add something of a specific flavor to it, like my spell turns everything green, well, that's kind of licensed material, because your version of the spell turns it green. And as of now, nobody else's version of the spell turns green. But the idea that your spell turns everything green in addition to whatever else it does, that's not reserved, dude. I mean, come on. Does the ORC license allow me to copy descriptive text of mechanical game elements verbatim from upstream products? Yes. You are licensed to use licensed material verbatim, but you are not obligated to do so. Where the description of the muncher contains creative descriptions that are not required for operation of the muncher, they are not licensed, including those descriptions. Those descriptions can add rich, colorful imagery, but you can also change them if you wanted to. All right, so again, Drizzt. Drizzt is Wizards of the Coast. Nobody else can use Drizzt. Drizzt's stat block is unique to Drizzt. But you could have another Drow Elf who kind of does the same thing, but with different names and shit. And that'd be okay, because Drizzt is restricted, but Drow Elf +3 to dexterity. That's sure. That's just, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. What is a sufficiently delineated character? It's something to do with U.S. copyright law that describes when a character has sufficient attributes above substantial stuff. We would recognize the character as being Tarzan or Superman by using this expression. We are especially pulling in that body. Again, Drizzt, Tarzan, Superman. You cannot use Drizzt, but you could have a Drow Elf. How would this work, say, a stat block that contains a proper noun or trademark? Well, you can't copyright proper nouns. And if it's trademarked, well, then it's trademarked. Tensor is trademarked. Only Wizards of the Coast could use Tensor. Okay? But, proper noun, wizard, anybody can use that. You can't copyright a proper noun. Proper nouns are open. I mean, I know people would like to, like the whole renegade bullshit, but you can't copyright a proper noun, guys. Sorry. Exhausting, and nobody's watching this. But remember, I'm doing this so you don't have to. Baby animal break. That's not real. Oh, baby giraffe. Oh, baby squirrels. Those aren't real. I don't know what that is. Baby foxes. Kitten. Is this over yet? How does one define what is and is not licensed material? You specifically say so. Is a stat block protected under reserved content? No, because anybody, strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma is unique to that system. It's at the top of the stream, so that is, but any variations of that stat block is not. I want to use a RPG based upon a latest Hollywood blockbuster. What's the latest Hollywood blockbuster? Indiana Jones, coming out today. Can I do that? Sure, as long as you get the okay from the company. You can't just make a Hollywood blockbuster themed role-playing game, board game, whatever, and not get permission from the company. So yeah, you before. Yeah, so sure, if you want to make, I love what Paizo is saying. Oh, we've licensed with sports teams and big movies before in this. Like, no, you haven't. Name one sports team or big movie you've associated with, Paizo. You can't, because you haven't. Don't mistake people for your game for Dungeons and Dragons, okay? Or games that actually have done that. Okay, so they're saying you can, but that's bullshit. Okay, you can't. I'm sorry, Paizo. No. I cannot make a Indiana Jones role-playing game and put it on the market and not get in trouble from Disney. I cannot make a Fast and the Furious role-playing game and put it on the market and not get in trouble from Universal. The Disney Death Star of legal advisors would come after me faster than I could tie my shoes. So no, you cannot release a product that features anything from a Hollywood blockbuster without specific multi-page permission from that company that lasts forever. Because you know, and I know, because it happens hundreds of times, 10 years from now, somebody could sue you and go, oh, that was my idea. And you'd be like, well, then why did you wait 10 years? Why didn't you sue me when the movie first came out? Reasons. And more likely than not, the judges will give the money to the guy, or they'll say, settle out of court. You don't need this bad press. And this has happened hundreds and hundreds of times. You know, somebody puts something out, a song, a movie, a TV show, an idea, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years later, somebody comes forward and says, oh, no, that was my idea. You stole it. So no, that is 100% wrong. You cannot make product that is in any way, shape, or form attached to a recognizable movie entertainment genre without explicit, multi-page, set in stone, locked in a safe, and then that safe is sunk to the bottom of the ocean so nobody can change it. Permission to the end of time from the movie company so that nobody says in 10 years, oh, that was my idea. Yeah, no, that's sorry, no, I know from working in the industry for 16 years, that's, yeah. Baby tiger, baby harp seal, baby wolf, lions, you see Simba, panda, that could be a real panda. Leopards, jaguars, cheetahs, I don't know, kitten. Blah, more the same. License breaches, stuff you don't care about. What about digital rights? Same. Nothing, no mention of the morality clause in here. Again, we know people were concerned about that, but again, no mention of that. It's still in there. It's still, as far as we understand, there. So morality clause. If you make stuff for anything but Paizo, Pathfinder official, it is up to that company to decide whether it is morally bankrupt or not. So yeah, if I make stuff for WRETCHED, I know they're not going to go, oh, you put no pictures in there. We're not, you know. But if I make something for a different company, then they might go, yeah, we don't want our license associated with those tiddlies. So no. But if you make stuff for Paizo Pathfinder, then they do have the right to say, no, the Pathfinder morality clause says you can't use the word slavery. You can't show boobies. So that seems to be the morality clause. As for the main thing people are concerned about, ignore all this other bullshit, is my money. If I make my product under the ORC, how is my product protected, and how do I make money and prevent other people from stealing my shit and making money off of it and saying it's theirs? Oh, I wrote that game 10 years ago. They stole it from me. Why did you wait 10 years? Does it matter? Yeah, no. Guys, you should probably settle out of court because you don't want this thing to go to court. Fine, we'll settle out of court. Here's a couple million. And remember to say it was originally my idea. Fine, we'll say it's originally your idea. Here's a couple million. Go away. So yeah, is your shit protected? And the way it reads, anything at the top of the stream is protected. But if I make stuff based upon your stuff next step down the stream, I can still release that. I can make money off of it as long as I give you credit. But I don't have to give you any money. I just have to say, oh, thanks to the OGGM for creating this game system at the top of the stream. I am now making way more money off of my product than you did, OGGM, and I don't have to give you a dime. I just have to say thank you. And you can't sue me 10 years from now. Oh, man. But If I make a game on based upon Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, then fuck yeah, I better get 100 pages inscribed in solid stone with diamonds from Disney saying, we will not sue you. We give you permission to the end of time. Because otherwise, oh, I wrote that 10 years ago. Why did you wait till today to bring it to court? Reasons. Yeah, well, you know what your chances of winning are based upon precedence, really, really high. Yeah, you're right. They are. Baby animal break. No, red panda. Kitten. Other kitten. Baby kitten. Otter. All right. There you go. 30 minutes of the ORC. Hopefully that's it. I never have to talk about this again. It's done. We've already found a couple things in it that are, at least from my vague understanding of the rules, still need to be fixed, like the references to an existing product in the ORC license. You need to remove that before it goes to the Copyright Office. Otherwise, everything that falls under the ORC will also be protected by Renegade Games or whatever it was you put in there. It's like, no, that needs to go, okay? And to the whole movie thing, no, you're wrong. You need to get permission from the studios, and you need that permission to be ironclad. Other than that, I guess it's fine. I don't know. Do you want to use it? Do you even care anymore? Do you ever want to hear me talk about this again? Hopefully I won't have to. Hopefully that's it. But if you ever want to just look at baby animals again, let me know. That's it. I have looked at the ORC for you, so you don't have to. We never have to talk about this ever again, hopefully. That's it for Friday. Have a great day. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you never want to talk about this ever again, I completely understand. Till next time. Oh, dear God.